Hello, hello. So I am so sorry, but today is going to have to be a voiceover. My microphone broke and I ordered a new one, but I'm waiting for it to come in, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to get this whip and shout out for everybody out there. So if you're new, my name is Rebecca. Welcome everybody to Sparkle.Sanctuary. I hope you don't mind the voiceover, and next time it'll be back to normal recordings as programmed. So WIP is a work in progress. And so that's what I'm just going to show you what I'm working on. So in the video right now, I think I'm showing the image of after the rain and showing you kind of the area of the image that I'm working on. I think I have the last two bottom rows to complete before this image is done. I am so excited to be able to have this complete. It's turning out lovely. And I think I may have one more whip and chat where I may have the image in it. If not, hopefully I'll be working on a new one. But my next one I'm excited to be doing because I'm hoping to find an image that I can do a lot of bling to. But anyway, so yeah, feel free to work on whatever you're working on, and I'll kind of chat with you about all of the things from this week. And hopefully the voiceover doesn't bother anybody, and I'm able to at least entertain you a little bit for the next, 35 minutes or so. So anyway, last whip and chat, I think I recorded Saturday. So Sunday, I literally didn't get anything done. I had hoped to do some more diamond painting that weekend and actually get a row done. I didn't get any of that finished until this morning. And that's okay. I have days where I just don't feel like diamond painting at all. And when I'm very busy and I have a lot of work stuff going on, I just don't have time to. So anyway, so Sunday I didn't really feel like doing anything and didn't do a whole lot. But Monday I had work. I actually had a couple things going on that day. There was a kindergartner that was really struggling that day, and I ended up with them in my office for a while. I ended up helping them trying to get some work done and helped them that way, but they were just not being nice to their teacher or to me, and so they just ended up in there for a little while. While I was working that day, I also did some updating to the schedules for the kindergartners I'm going to be pulling out. I got some feedback from the teachers, and I am now up to 20 kids that I'll be pulling out at different segments, no more than 5 at a time, thank goodness. That would be a lot to try to get all of those kiddos taken care of at once. But yeah, the teachers were grateful, and I was working on that on Monday a little bit. And then Monday night, my girls and I had been talking because homecoming is coming up. And at that moment, on Monday night, my girls and I were thinking that homecoming was Saturday, which is today, and it's actually next week. So, but we spent a couple hours, we were like gone for over 3 hours, just going to different stores, trying to find things the girls could wear for homecoming. One of my girls did find something, and my other girls came home and were able to find something kind of in their wardrobe and were able to reuse something that they had used years ago, whatever. While we were out, we went to Wendy's, and I went in and told them, like, the last time I had ordered from them a couple weeks ago, there had been an issue with my order, and they said they'd get back to me to fix it, and they didn't. And to apologize, my girls and I went into Wendy's, they actually just calmed the meal, which was very nice. And actually that ended up happening again later on in the week with another company. I'll get to that, but not had a lot of luck with fast food. And the funny thing is we don't eat fast food very often because I'm gluten intolerant. And I have to be picky about where I eat. Like at Wendy's, I can eat a baked potato, or I could have this one salad. So I tend not to eat a lot of fast food anymore. I do a lot of cooking at home. And so, yeah, just to have things happen in such a short time span. Anyway, I'll move on. So let's see. Tuesday, there were additional teachers that reached out to me about schedule changes. And so I had really hoped that I would get to the kids this week. And honestly, after that, I reached out to all the teachers and I said, there's too many schedule changes, and it's not fair to the kids to start the schedule this week. So we'll start next week. They were all very understanding. And I appreciated them for that. But then Tuesday night, Alyssa, my twins, and I and my boyfriend went to see Beetlejuice. I went into that not having a lot of expectations, and honestly, I thought it was a fine movie. is it something that I'll have on my watch every year list? No. There were a couple characters in there that I thought really didn't develop the plot, but otherwise it was fine. I enjoyed Michael Keaton. I think he did a great job. And I think they were able to pull in some of the elements from the previous movie. Beetlejuice is one that I try to watch just about every year. That one, I'll watch it every few years maybe. But I didn't think it was a horrible movie. It just wasn't, it wasn't 30 years in the making. It was kind of like, sequels are just not, they're never as good as the first one. Or they're rarely as good as the first one. But I think because of, obviously Monday and Tuesday, I didn't have a lot of time in the evenings. I didn't do any diamond painting those days. And then Wednesday, I had that same kindergartner from Monday in my office, but I had him for longer. He ended up getting in pretty significant trouble, and the assistant principal just asked me to really get him to do his work and keep him in my room away from the other kiddos and spend some time with him throughout the day. And then that evening, I got an email from both the school that I work at and from my kids' schools, because we're in different districts, saying that there were threats online going around regarding some potential violence with specific kind of pew-pews and weapons and things like that. So it was a concern, definitely. And they identified that there was no viable threat, like it had been investigated, and that it was just rumors that were going around. But rumors can spread like wildfire, and it's kind of scary the way that kind of happens. And yeah, so that ended up actually impacting some of Thursday. But before I get to that, my daughter and I finally got into some of her class information, because she's taking dual credit classes as a senior. And there was some serious mistakes, and she was confused about some of the things that happened. And when she opened her account, it said that we owed $1,000. And y'all, I don't have $1,000 to just throw at stuff like schooling. So I was kind of taken aback and stressed for a moment, but I was able to contact college that she's dual credited in, and they asked us to send out an email. Oh wait, I guess that was Thursday. Okay. Anyway, so she had issues with that dual credit. And so I wrote some numbers down and decided that I would be contacting them Thursday, because man, that was a mess. But anyway, so then Thursday, half of the school was gone, because there was a social media threat specific to the school that I work at. They said that the threat was going to start there and then move on to another school. And so half of the building was gone. And that was, kind of nerve-wracking, but it did lead for us to have more significant downtime, because our school is really big. I mean, there's over 550 students. I actually need to go in and check, because I know there was a lot of kids enrolled in the last couple weeks. And so our numbers are pretty high, where all of our classes are very full. And so having nearly half of the kids gone, I mean, it makes a big impact when you're talking about that many students. So it did allow me a bunch of downtime. And so I ended up calling the college for my daughter's, about my daughter's credit information. And they asked me to assist her with developing an email and sending it to the college so that we can look at figuring out how to fix the bill. And then I was able to complete all of the things that I had to do for the counselors. So next week we will be leading, or I guess this week we will be leading a lesson, and it's called The Superpower of Self-Control. This was a lesson that I actually made up last year, and I've kind of talked about it a little bit, but I don't know that I've explained what it is. So basically, the idea is that every single person is a superhuman, and that superhuman power that we have is this power of self-control. And so we have posters in the hallways identifying this, and I've talked about the mantra. It's, I have the power to control my thoughts, feelings, and actions. And so we have a presentation that I put together. I'm going to lead several of the classes, but not all of them, because I'm going to have kids that I have to pull out from kindergarten next week, or this week. Sorry, confusing. But it's, Saturday, it feels like next week is Monday, but anyway. So, there's a thunderstorm going. I hope you guys can't hear that. But anyway, so the idea is that we will be working on the video slideshow that I put together identifies like all of these different feelings and how we can better control them, tools and tips that we can use. So like if you're sleepy, then you can get up and get a drink of water. But if you're sad, drinking a water isn't the best idea. So if you're sad, then it would be like talking to a friend. So it's like figuring out what tools work best when we're in specific areas of emotion. And then like how each emotion impacts us physically. So like our heart rate increases when we're mad, and talking about those kinds of things to help kids better understand their bodies and their emotions and how to respond to them. So we'll give them scenarios and they can talk about how it makes them feel and what tools and things that they would do to help calm themselves down, which is really awesome. And then we put together a video showing different scenarios in the school that could happen, and how like something small, like one of them, just an example, is a couple of kids playing a game of kickball and one of the kids accidentally kicks the other kid in the shin. Well, if you're not in control of yourself and you allow your emotions to get away from you, then you may lash out at that person for kicking you. And so we have a video demonstration of that actually happening, where the kid lashes out and starts a fight. And we have a superhero, self-control, jump in and say, freeze. What could we have done? What happened? We talk about what happened and how they could have handled it differently. And then we rewind the situation and have them play it out again. But this time they show self-control and it keeps the fight from happening. And then there's like a color sheet involved, and there's all these things that I put together. So I'm super excited. It was something I was very proud of last year. And the counselors allowing me to use this presentation again this year. I'm sure it helps them to not have to put together a lesson plan for the entire week. But it's kind of cool that the school gets to experience this all together. And then I get to experience that with the majority of them and lead so many of the classes. So yeah, got all of the rest of that put together Thursday. And then I was asked to assist with handing out some meal applications at the very end of the day, but so many of the kids were gone. We didn't get very many of them passed out. So they were hoping to have a majority of that back by Friday. And of course, we just did not have them back by Friday. Thursday night, I did get some time alone. I spent about an hour diamond painting, but a majority of my time I just kind of spent doom scrolling social media, because this week, like every day is a lot, and I had been so busy and I just really needed some time to decompress. But yeah, that ended up being fine. And then Friday, I don't know, around 11:30, the principal came to me and was like, we have to get these forms done. The deadline is actually 5:00 today. And I went into overdrive and I took a list of the people and started making phone calls. And one of those phone calls that I made, the parent said, can I come in and fill it out when I pick up my kid at the end of the day? And I was like, would it actually help if I had those forms ready for you and you could just sign them when you come pick up your kid in the car line and you never have to get out? And they said, that would be fantastic. So I made a few more phone calls after that. And then the principal tracked me down to see where I was at. And I said, I think that we need to change how we're doing this today, because phone calls are one thing, but we're not going to get everybody in. And most of these people are saying, can I do this online? And I think we just need to stop asking and just like be in their face with it. And so I told him that, I think we should go through the list of kids that are left, figure out who is walkers and that are going to be picked up by family, and who are car riders that are going to be picked up by family, and then designate those folders to those individuals and just meet them at the door, meet them as they come in and just get those signed. And he said that was a fantastic idea and was baffled that nobody had thought to do that prior. And so we had 64 out of the whole building. We only had 64 students left by the time he and I met. And I still had, from the time he got in contact with me at 11:30 and about 4:15. Between that time, I had about an hour that I had duties that I needed to do. Otherwise, in that time, I was able to get 20 kiddos taken care of off of our list of 64. And the principal had asked for us to get at 30 or lower. That was his goal, out of the whole school. And when I left, one person was waiting. We had several people that said they would go online, and we weren't sure if anybody had gone online, but for sure we knew we had 30. We were at 30 when I left on Friday evening, yesterday evening. So that was really nice. I felt really accomplished. And at one point, when we were doing that, the principal was like, keep it up, keep up the good work, and maybe we'll keep you around for next year. Cause I'm grant money and I may not have a job there next year. And the dean of students said, sir, that's not funny. We really need her here. And, he and I had chuckled, and he kind of nodded his head and recognized that. And, at the end of all of this, he said, I didn't know that you were capable of doing this. And I said, I'm not afraid to put my feet to the pavement, and I'm not afraid to talk to people, especially if I know it's for a good cause. And this is basically getting resources, which is something that I did at my last job. So I don't think the school actually knows that I have more talent than just kind of helping these kids. And so I'm happy that he's able to see that I'm a person of, many talents, and that I have more than one ability. And I honestly don't think they're utilizing me to my full potential. But at the same time, I work at a school, and, if people see that you're able to do more, then you'll always end up doing more. And that's just that way at every job, really. When you're good at your job, you always are rewarded with more work and not more to do, but same compensation, right? But it's okay, because I feel like the more I do and the more I shine, the more I'm going to be able to say, hey, I'm seeing these injustices and I need help. And I think that they will recognize that. So that's kind of cool. That he was able to recognize the hard work that I put in. And I was super proud of myself for getting, basically I got 20 kiddos' names down, and the principal and the other person who had been working on this, they got 14. So during the time that I got the 20. So, that made me feel pretty good. But, that other person that was involved, the principal had asked me several times to get involved in this. And I did help out one day. We had meet the teacher night, and I set up a booth, and I got several people to come up. I got at least 20 people signed up that day too. And I know that the other individual made a lot of phone calls, that they went to houses and they did things, but it wasn't the most effective or efficient way to do things. And every time I would try to help, they wouldn't let me, even though the principal had specifically asked me to help. And so I'm not sure what to do with that. I contemplated originally saying saying something to the principal about I would have helped out sooner, but I didn't want to step on toes, and I was told that they could take care of this. At the end of the day, does it matter? We got it all taken care of, and I don't want to call anybody out. I'm not that person. So I just kind of let it go. And I think maybe next time I will know better and say, hey, the principal actually specifically asked me to help you with this. So I know that you want to take care of this, but I want to help. And I was asked to help, so I don't want to get in trouble. So just let me, please. Because honestly, I think we could have gotten this knocked out way sooner had they let me. I also explained, the entire district has repeatedly sent out emails identifying that the kids are qualified, that every single child is getting free meals. And so I think it really confused these families, because the application was for free and reduced lunches. And they're like, it's already free. Why are we applying? And I had to explain to families, this allows us to be reimbursed by the state for the amount of meals and the amount of families that we have. But then also it sets a precedent for next year, so that they can see how many families applied this year. And lets them know how many numbers we have for next year, so that we can get the amount of funding that will actually meet the amount of cost for giving those meals out to the kids. And actually that's funny, because when I was talking to these parents about this, one of the counselors was there, and he turned to me and he goes, I didn't know this impacted next year too. And I was like, everything always, when it comes to government money, you can't have one without the other. They will look at the figures for the last several years, actually, when it comes to next year. And the higher numbers we have and the more applications we turn in, the better the odds are. And so when I'm telling these families, like if you don't turn in this application, next year they may not allow us to have free meals and you may have to pay next year. A lot of people were more willing to sign up. So I think, maybe I might at the end of this year say, hey, for next year, let's go ahead and set something up for free and reduced lunches. Let's go ahead and get this going and see if we can't get families in and get these signed. Make a list of all of the car riders and start hitting those car riders as they come in. Make sure that we're getting every single person that's coming in. Get all of the kids that are coming in the walker pickup. And then the ones that are bus riders, we can, send those home or ask them to come in during specific times or catch them when they're doing Meet the Teacher, because we will know what classrooms those kids are in. And so maybe we can have these waiting with the teachers and say, hey, can you have them just sign these when they come in to meet you? Like that would be so much easier than what we did this year. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to be more assistance with that next year. So anyway, when I did make that phone call for my daughter to the college, they said, there's an issue, so we will need an email from you tonight. And so my daughter, I made sure she got that taken care of. And that was a long email with a lot of bullet points as to how this was confusing. And really, honestly, a lot of this falls on her school counselor. They just did not explain anything to her. And it's really a shame because I remember knowing, like when I was in high school, all of that information was given to me. And these counselors, like they're treating these 17, 18-year-old students like they know the world and they understand how all of this works. And that is so not fair to them. And then they don't have a night where the parents can go in and explain any of this or do any of that. And I didn't know what she was hearing at school. And so anyway, I'm just glad we got that email sent off and hopefully they'll get back to us soon. But anyway, I did want to say that I woke up Friday morning, like Thursday night I went to bed and I wasn't feeling the best. Thursday, as the week went on, I started feeling slowly better. But Thursday night I slept propped up on pillows again. And I tell you, I didn't get a lot of sleep, but I woke up Friday feeling so much better. I still have a cough. I'm still a little bit phlegmy, which is awful, but it's not as nearly as bad as it was. And my ear, I woke up either Wednesday or Thursday and I just felt like crud and my ear hurt so bad. And so to not have my ear be in pain on Friday was a huge deal. And to actually have some relief this morning after I showered, I actually was able to hear out of my ear somewhat. So that was really, really nice. But anyway, so yeah, I worked pretty late Friday and then and got all of those turned in. And then they said, go ahead and go home. It was like 4:40 and they were like, we'll make the last of these phone calls. You need to go ahead and go home. You did a good job today. And that made me feel good. And then I came home and just kind of hung out with my boyfriend. We watched a little bit of TV. He made dinner. He's so great about making us food. I am not that person. I'm not a good cook. I don't enjoy cooking and he enjoys cooking. And so I appreciate that about him. He made dinner for everybody. And I was able to just spend some time relaxing. And I definitely appreciated him because, when I was getting those signatures for people in the car line, I was outside from 3:15 until about 4:30 and I'm allergic to the sun. And so, part of that sun allergy makes me very heat intolerant and the sun just completely zaps my energy. And so I was still beet red in the face when I got home and I am slightly pink and burnt. And I have a lot more freckles on my arms. And so, yeah, I was wiped out. And so I really appreciated him making dinner for all of us and just letting me kind of veg out while we watched a little bit of television. We ended up watching Only Murders in the Building. It's the most recent episode. I watched that show with my girls too. So hopefully tomorrow I will get to sit down with them and catch them up on the last two episodes. But yeah, I really enjoy that show. Do any of you watch that? I think it's a cool show. And I think the dynamic between the three main characters is really good. It's very humorous, but, so yeah, then this morning I woke up and I tried tried recording, and yeah, some of the audio came through. It sounded a little bit wonky. I think the mic was breaking and I just didn't know it. And then there's like an attachment piece that attaches to my phone, and when that's what broke actually. And when I removed it from my phone after recording another video, like it completely came out. So I'm gonna have to re-record that video. And that's okay. I also tried like going out to the library to see if maybe that would be a space where it would be quiet and that maybe all of the audio would pick up on my phone without having to use the mic. And that was an epic failure. There was noises and everything going on there. So I will just have this voiceover for my WIP and chat, and then we'll hopefully get the microphone in. It says Sunday at 10. So hopefully it'll get here tomorrow evening earlier than that, because if I can, I would like to at least record my other video that I'll put up later this week. Because Monday is going to be a very busy day, and trying to find time to record another video Monday is going to be difficult. But anyway, something I'm looking forward to in the near future, because I am almost finished with this diamond painting, I'm looking at what kind of image I'm going to be working on next. I am not planning on doing another kit for drills and chills. I just wanted to do this one. So I'm going to shop my stash, and I'm going to see, because I have quite a few special drills, and I know I've talked in the past about wanting to do a video showing how and why I choose the drills that I'm choosing. And so yeah, I'm going to record a video, and I'm considering doing it one of two ways. One is I go through and pick out all the special drills ahead of time and show you what I'm doing and why. And the other one is to actually just sit down and start from scratch and show you everything I do. Show you how I go through my diamonds and pick out the ones that I'm doing, and show you like me looking through the drills that come with the kit and kitting them up and seeing if I can figure out the bags that have the least amount of drills and all of the things that I do to get that set together. I honestly think that way would be the most helpful, but it would also be a really long video. So I'm trying to decide which one is going to be the best option, but I don't know. I'll decide at some point this week. But yeah, I'm excited to finish this canvas and get it completed so I can go ahead and do that. Yeah. Anyway, with everything else, just because of the way that this week has been busy and things going on, I am a bit behind on catching up on the YouTube community that I follow. I literally just today watched Kara the Principal Painters live from Monday. So if that tells you kind of where I'm at, I try to stay ahead of things and stay on top of it, but I'm just behind, and it makes me feel bad because I really want to support people in the community. I follow several channels and enjoy their content, and these people have become friends to me. I mean, I care genuinely about them, and I care genuinely about those of you. Like, if you've commented on my videos, like, you have no idea how much that means to me. And I look forward to your comments, and I look forward to the engagement. And so I don't know, I feel like I don't have a lot of friends in my personal life and people that I hang out with regularly. In fact, I don't have anybody that I hang out with regularly. I have one friend that I've seen once since last November, and it was a brief, like, we had dinner and that was it. And I would love to see them more, but life gets busy. But anyway, so yeah, I want to keep up on these things. And so I'm just going to see if I can't spend some time tomorrow catching up on things, I guess, since I don't have, the microphone to record my videos. So, and then hopefully be able to, like I said, spend time with my girls and catch them up on Only Murders in the Building. So, anyway, what are some things that you have been up to? Is there a show that you're watching that you think I would find interesting? I'm into things like, I love docuseries. I love true crime stuff. I don't like it when I love when there's true crime and there's resolution. Those really make me happy. And I love comedies and romance things. So Yeah, I know a lot of people talk about watching Bridgerton. I've never seen an episode. I know a lot of people talk about The Office. I watched a couple episodes but couldn't get into it because the boss in The Office reminded me too much of my ex-husband in a bad way. Um, things like that. So, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It feels really good to feel better. I think it makes me in a better headspace. This week, I definitely had some moments like this morning when I discovered my mic was broken. I had tried for hours. Like I had spent a lot of time trying to get through videos and things. I felt really defeated. And when the library didn't work out, I felt defeated then. And yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, I think I've said it before. Sometimes you have moments, but you've got to just kind of pull yourself up and try to keep going forward. I have a girl that I was roommates in college with, and so I've known her for a really long time. She's a good friend of mine, but she's had a lot of hardships over the last few years, and it's kind of made her jaded. And like, I can't post a single thing on Facebook without her kind of having a negative comment. My boyfriend is having the same issue, and it's heartbreaking. And so I don't know. I wish I could reach out to people in a way that helps them, feel better. Because, we have moments, we're always going to have moments where things are hard, and it's how we come out on the other side that shows our character, right? And some things are just harder than others. And she's really been through a rough patch, especially this year. And so I don't know, like she's somebody that I've known for a long time, but I don't feel terribly close to anymore. And so I've tried talking to her little bits here and there, but it ends up, well, my life is so hard and you don't understand, and that kind of thing, or whatever. No, I haven't experienced the things that she's experienced, so I cannot on any way say that I can compare anything I've been through to that. But the same thing goes the other way. She's not experienced any of the things that I've experienced, and it's hard. It's really hard to come out the other side. And I sometimes wonder if people who are just perpetually negative are experiencing, more of depression than anything. I know that I used to live by a motto that said, like, I would rather be negative and think negatively and expect the worst out of things than to be disappointed. And that definitely is a headspace of somebody who's depressed. Like, I genuinely can't feel that way anymore. I think very positively and try to have a positive attitude about things. And, when I feel myself slipping into that headspace, I recognize that as depression and try to, take steps to make that better. And I don't know how to help people in those situations when they're not willing to hear what's happening. And that's so heartbreaking because she is a good person and she gives to her family so much. And I wish I knew how to help her. And she lives far enough away that I don't ever see her. And like I said, we're not really as close anymore as we used to be. I'd still definitely call her a friend, but I don't know. Life and circumstances have changed. And you know how it is. Sometimes you just lose that level of friendship with people just because you aren't experiencing the same things in life. It's kind of like, that when you're friends with people and they start having kids and they're married and you're still single, like it's kind of hard to relate to each other and just maintain that level of friendship. But I don't have any long-term friends anymore after my divorce. So, I really want to keep her as a friend, but I sometimes find it frustrating when I put something out there. Like I made a comment about being super, like sometimes in life you just have to look at that image and try to walk away from it in a positive note and try to think about what you're learning from this experience so that you can be positive and whatever. And she made a negative comment on there and I wanted to delete it so nobody would see it. But then I didn't want to hurt her feelings either. She did at least text me afterward and say I probably shouldn't have made that comment, but I just can't see anything positive right now. But, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard because I care about her and want her to experience more joy in this life. And she just has really had a crappy year. So I don't know. I part of me thinks I should just go ahead and reach out and say, hey, have you considered, talking to somebody to see if maybe, you should look at depression to look and see if this is something, relating to depression, and see if there's something that can be done or what. But she's not the person to do that kind of stuff. So I don't know. And honestly, like, how do you call yourself depressed when it's situational? Like, she's been through a lot and she's still dealing with a lot. And I don't know. Her family has had a rough go. But anyway, probably spent too much time talking about her. So, okay, it looks like I'm about done with this image. So I will give it here a few seconds. But I hope that you've had an amazing week. And I hope that this next week is really, truly everything you deserve. Like, nobody deserves to have things go rough. And so I just hope the week is amazing for you, and that all of you are getting plenty of rest, and that all of you are, drinking plenty of water, and, taking care of yourselves. I know this next coming week, I've got several things coming up, but, I'll share about that more in my next video. I think that's all I have to say. So I'm going to go ahead and say, remember to take care of yourself. My diamond painting is my Sparkle Sanctuary, and your Sparkle Sanctuary should be, in my mind, wherever you go to take care of your mental health. So hopefully you take some time this week to at least take care of yourself a little bit. Spend 5 minutes by yourself, or take that extra 5-minute shower, do a bubble bath, or watch a show that you like. Do something special just for you, because your mental health matters and you matter. So, take care of you, and I will see you next time. Bye.